Hello everyone, welcome to your daily card reading for October 11th, 2014. And I think today I'm going to do a wheel. And I'll pull one Tree Magic indicator card for the wheel. And then we'll do the wheel with the chicken cards to, it's kind of a medicine wheel spread to really kind of look at the cycle and our orientation of where we're at right now in our lives with the energies and, things coming out, things coming in. So anyway, I'm going to draw some cards and be right back. Prosperity, the laborum tree. It says, be vigilant and receptive. A golden treasure may have more potential than meets the eye. Okay, so looking at these, we have big turning point, it looks like, when I'm looking at this wheel here. First of all, we start out with Zaiwi and life, the life force, receiving the life force, pulling out of chronic states of illness, pulling out of anything that has been really taking from our life, and really, receiving the life that we're here for. So Zaiwi means life, and I think we got her just recently also, maybe in the same position. So it seems like this is something that we're really working on right now. We're really working on kind of pulling through a lot of past stuff and entering into like a new phase. So this whole reading really looks pivotal. We're looking at, in this position up here with Kali, the mental influences and how we are relating to everything mentally, psychologically. And Kali has to do with justice and truth and truth in action. So things working out based on justice. So everybody having the consequences of their actions really confront them in their lives, and actually having to learn and adjust from the consequences of their actions. So people get the level of life that they deserve based on what they can handle and what they really, what their level of capacity is, so Kali has to do with justice, and it's almost like karma, karma hitting, but it's the focus with Kali is on ourselves and in saying stop to things and not allowing anyone to take advantage of us or to press our push our buttons or invade our boundaries or just really having a solid, firm foundation for what we need and what we want, and then also protecting not only ourselves but protecting everybody that we love, and also having those same boundaries and rules and guidelines for everybody we care about. So Kali puts an end to the problems. She puts death to death. She stops illness. She stops pain. She stops suffering. She stops all of this by saying no more. This is the don't mess with me. Don't mess with my babies. Don't mess with the precious things of this world. Those precious things of this world are sacred and special, and they're meant to be here, and they're meant to thrive, and they're meant to grow. And anyone who wants to mess with those has to step back. No more. This it's about disciplining the energies, and so it really puts the focus on the individual with Kali. And then we have in the new beginnings position here, we have Birdie Baby, and Birdie Baby is all about things really coming together for us, and really the magic of synchronicity, the magic of events, the coordination, the right elements, just the perfect coming together of things, of people, of things, of timing, of events. If it was a little bit sooner or later, it wouldn't work quite like it did. It's really about the perfection of the universe birthing something that you can be a part of, but it's beyond you. So things that just really were meant to be and really just work out right away, or just kind of come together magically, that was meant to be. That was a divine birthing. That is a creation beyond the person. It's like the forces of evolution, the forces of the universe, like creating something that you are a part of and you might be a player in, but it's beyond you and has to do with a lot of other elements and factors and timing and things coming together just perfectly. So then we move down here to Little Red Amore, and this is in the social position, and this is about really having something in our social life that changes us forever. So really, Little Red Amore is that Kundalini energy. It's survival. It's your root, but it's also something that comes in and changes your life forever. You really don't have a choice in the matter. It's something that happens to you, and it's because of your love and the love of whatever this is for you. You see how you can provide for something and how it can provide for you, and just kind of like a perfect meeting or a perfect match that changes you forever. So my example is always that she's the reason I ended up with a gigantic chicken flock, was because I got her for a reason that ended up not panning out, but I couldn't get rid of her because she loved me so much. I just couldn't do it, and so sometimes things, and then because she was like the only one of that age, I needed to get her some friends, so that's what happened. Then I ended up getting a whole chicken flock. So anyway, sometimes things enter your life and you're just totally not expecting the power or the magnitude of its influence on your life, and it changes your life forever by adding to it, or amplifying you, or adding to it, or just kind of making it what it's meant to be through something totally unexpected that comes into your life. So being in the social position here, I want to say that's probably, let me meditate on that for a second. I want to say there's something that has to do with society that comes to you, or a person, either one person or some situation in society that changes your social life forever. It changes your dynamics with the world and your kind of your social interactions, or your social standards, or your social growth. Looking back on my life, there's just so many different phases of types of people or groups of people, or where I was at or what I was doing, and I would say that there's a shift and a change because of some either individual or a few people or a group or something. Some part of society is going to change you forever, but it also is going to change your relationship to society as a whole also. So then we have in the Western position here, this is what is changing, what is transforming, what's changing. And this is a little spirit angel. And little spirit angel represents unseen influences on the other side, or kind of like essence that is felt strongly that guides us. So it could be a little spirit angel that we've never met, or it could be people that we're connected to but we're not present with in the physical world. So these people in the physical world, or the spirits on the other side, they really do influence our decisions and what we end up doing. They give us those nudges, they give us those hunches, they give us those feelings of this is right or this is wrong, or this is what feels good, this is what doesn't. And they really tap into our emotions, and they tap into our impressions of things, our psychism, and help us to intuitively just know what we want to do and know what what doesn't work for us. So, even if we make a wrong decision, we'll end up making the right one in the long run because of those influences, because of the little spirits on behind the veil that are always with us and kind of nudging us, or wanting us to go this way or that way. So she traditionally has to do with making a decision, but this is in the position of transformation and change. So I want to say that this is really, our decision making is coming to an end. There's a conclusion. The force will be fully embodied and recognized and integrated into our understanding, and the decision period is over. We know we're at this point where we're knowing now what we need to do, or where we need to go, or who's with us, who's not. So then we come to the end position here, and this is Bina, and Bina has to do with really being able to see things very, very clearly, and to see between things, to see the differences, to see the nuances of each and everything. And she also has to do with teaching and transmitting knowledge. So when you really know something, when you really can see things, when you can really know right and wrong, and you can see clearly the difference between things, it becomes so much a part of your knowledge and understanding that it's easy for you to transmit this information. It's like when you can radiate your knowledge in a sense that you can live it and be it and to show it so easily to people. You know, that's transmission. When you really are able to take concepts that are, you know, not common or whatever, but you're living them and you know them so well that you can just really infuse other people with understanding. You know, it just is clear when people meet you or when you have a conversation about something. It's very clear. You give people ahas, you know, where they understand and can get it, get the points of your knowledge. And so that's where we end, and that's why I was saying this is such a pivotal spread, because we start out with life and really pulling through the heaviness of life and pulling through the chronic things that set us back, that put us on the edge of death, you know. And we get life, and we move in our life force, and we have these strong boundaries and these strong this strong sense of justice, this strong protective power of ourselves and others, and really, you know, hold things safe and sacred and protect. And that's where we are mentally. This is where we are in full, and this is mental. And then we have this birthing process coming in of new stuff, and, you know, something that the universe is working on that you're a part of, you know, coming into birth. And then socially, there are people in the world around you that are going to really change your life by adding to your life and bonding with you, and, you know, becoming a part of your life, where your social group or your social status will be changed forever. And you know, also your individual relations are changing here in this social world. And it's going to bring about, again, this survival that we're aiming for in the first place. This is, you know, really that Kundalini survival, you know, that deep root. And it's almost like, you know, people are joining in on our root, on the survival, and amplifying it, and kind of changing everything to secure that. And then, you know, decisions are coming to an end, where there's no more wavering on things, just really locking in on our plans and our path, and you know, who's with us and who's not, and this infusion from the spirits around us, either human spirits in the world or on the other side. And then from the finish of it all, we have a lot to say, we have a lot to transmit, we have a lot to teach. We had a big victory here in this, you know, cycle. We had a lot there's a lot that we overcame here in this cycle, you know. So I think it was yesterday we had, you know, basically our success or our victory is determined by the obstacles that we can overcome, and it's really, it's not just about obstacles. I mean, actually, none of this is really about obstacles. This is really about pulling out of those obstacles here in the first place. But really having those lessons and being this really powerful energy where we're pulling through of something. I mean, we do have the chronic thing that we're getting over in the first place, so that's where we're starting. So really pulling out of this strong, and having a story to tell, and having lessons to teach, and having an example to provide. You know, this is like the inspirational story they make a movie off of or something, you know, those, you know, wow, I can't believe it, you know, that this is, that's the way I'm kind of looking at this story that I'm looking at today. And then our overall card here, our message card, is flower. And flower has to do with really subtle impressions that we give off without saying a word, you know. So this is like our presence and our interaction, our subtle interactions with people, mean, I want to say I just entered this kindergarten class, and it has changed dramatically since I've been there. And I'm not really doing anything. I'm just being there. And that's what that flower energy is. Like that it's almost like the little spirit energy, except it's coming from you. And you give off your psychism. You know, I'm looking at, you know, who's hurting, who's not feeling good, who needs help, and then I give that attention to them without even saying a word, you know, and just, you know, kind of catching the energy and working with the energy. And that's what flower is about, really projecting yourself, projecting your heart and your emotions and your psychism and your strength, and projecting that. It's almost like the Bina energy too, except Bina really has to do with talking and using words, whereas flower is without words. So right now, before the cycle is over, I mean, this is the end of the cycle. We'll get to that point, but right now the message card is to just do it without, you know, without having the pressure of, you know, talking it and stepping into it. You can influence it and make it happen anyway. All the changes through your psychism and just your presence in your eye and your, you know, your kind of your subliminal messages towards others, and your influence, your projection. You can make people feel certain ways. So when you project a really high, you know, high energy and high love and, you know, high level of intelligence and heart towards others, they feel that, and they start to transform and they change, you know. So you can, that's the message, that the instruction here for the final card here. So, but in the end, there will be more of a conscious interaction, and you know, I know you guys know, if you watch me regularly, I do talk about the importance of using your words, also. So, but that's at the end of the cycle, so you don't have to worry about that right now. You know, keep your orientation for protection and, you know, boundaries and protecting the sacred, and know that things are being birthed, and you have this major transformation, this kundalini, this survival coming in through society, and decisions are ending, and you know, we have the ability to communicate it at the end. But right now, we just need to project ourselves, project our energy, and that's the flower. That's the third eye, the pituitary gland. We flower out our energy. We can influence the world. It's like the ripple effect with our psychism. We can infuse the world with our vision, and infuse the world with our feeling and our essence, just by being present and, you know, connecting with others. And again, we have the laburum tree, and you know, I don't know this tree, but I think this is the tree that fell. I swear to God, because he told me the flowers look like this, and I've seen these flowers, and I think this is the tree that fell. It hasn't flowered yet since I've been here, but I had two trees that fell that look just like this, and now that I'm looking at the leaves and the bark on it, it really does look like this tree. So anyway, it says, be vigilant and receptive. A golden treasure may have more potential than meets the eye. And because these... Anyway, I want to say, because this tree fell, there's an eclipse. There's an eclipse right now, and this is the lunar eclipse that is just happening too, and it fell right at that time. And now it's being renewed. We're having this renewal. But when it fell, it became eclipse. There's a problem. There was something, you know, the prosperity wasn't quite there. There was an issue with it. So now these trees fell. It did have a connection to the chicken coop. It almost hit the chicken coop, and it made a straight line to the door. And so this has to do with our intimate lives and the ones we love. The prosperity is being eclipsed. There was maybe a lack of prosperity that is now being attended to. It's being looked at, and it's being transformed. And then there was a second tree that fell that kind of cut off the relationship with the guest house for or the neighboring house for a little bit. So that has to do with more of the periphery, like just even though they're guests or whatever, it's more like a neighbor or something, like the peripheral, not your babies, but the kind of a peripheral thing that's also being eclipsed that has to do with prosperity. And then it's all connected anyway, because it's not like the chickens aren't influenced by the people in the guest house, So anyway, and these are all symbols. I mean, my dear friend John, who takes care of the chickens, is family. I mean, he's like a chicken to me too. So, John, I know you watch this. It's it's symbolic. There's two lines of things that are changing with this prosperity energy, and there are two things that had fallen, and they're both being looked at or need tending to. And number one, it's about the chickens. The second one really hasn't been dealt with, and I don't really care that much yet. But we'll get it dealt with. They know about it, but we just haven't gotten around to it. But anyway, so there's an eclipse. There's something that was weak with the prosperity, and now it's getting stronger. It's increasing here. And so, this whole cycle is about pulling out and change and increase and really coming into this pivotal moment in our lives, and the overall card here is a very powerful one, I feel. And prosperity is really about just having the world relate to us and respond to us in the way that we need, in the way that we deserve, with all the things that we give out, having that equal balance. So anyway, I hope everyone got what they needed out of this today. Sorry the camera kept overheating, but anyway, I hope everyone got what they needed out of this and that it wasn't too distracting, and I will see you all again tomorrow. Thanks a lot.